Hey guys, Brian Davis here with Copper Star Kayak. So in this video we're going to talk about our trip at Willow Creek down the Colorado River just downstream from the Hoover Dam, which has been the most physically challenging trips I've ever been on. I'm going to tell you all about it. Here we go. Alright, in this video I am going to show you how we kayak camped a section of the Colorado River that is just downstream from the Hoover Dam. And there's a lot of really cool things to see along this section of the river, a lot of really fun activities. We did all of this in one night, so this was a very quick trip, but still we were able to, we packed in a bunch and had a really great time and a lot of very tumultuous weather, which was actually kind of exciting. It was kind of fun being out there in the middle of all of this. And so, yeah, so I'm going to walk you through all of this, show you what we did, how we planned this, where we parked, where we launched, all of that great stuff that you typically see in these videos that I put together. For starters, let me just give you a little bit of the lay of the land here. So, of course, we've got Lake Mead located right here, and Las Vegas to the west, and then much further south, you've got Phoenix. Of course, right here, holding all this water back is the Hoover Dam, and then at the base of the Hoover Dam begins the Colorado River. Now, the section of river that we are going to talk about our adventure on today kind of starts at the base of the Hoover Dam and then goes about 12 miles downriver to this place called Willow Beach. Now, there's two different ways that you can explore this stretch of river, or at least two that I'm most familiar with. And the first one, and this is the way that I would recommend doing it, and it's not what we ended up doing, but definitely the next time that I do this, this will definitely be the way that I take. So you can hire a shuttle service that will drop off you and your gear down here, basically at the base of the Hoover Dam. And there's this road that they access down here, and they're able to launch you from this section. Now, this is a high security zone, of course, with the dam being, right, just right upriver. So not anybody, not just anybody can come and access this area of the river. You need to go through a registered shuttle service. I don't recall how much it costs to use this service, but I would say it's definitely worth it. So what you would basically do is launch from here, and then you would make your way downriver, find a spot someplace to camp for a one-nighter, and then end up leaving a car for your group down at Willow Beach, which is where you would paddle down to and then pick up your car. And the shuttle services can do various different things, or they can pick you and your kayaks and your gear up from Willow Beach, or you can meet them at their shop. There's lots of different companies that do it, and you're just going to have to kind of find one that works for you and for your schedule. Now, the other way to do this, and this is what we ended up doing, is we launched our kayaks from Willow Beach, and then we kayaked upriver. Yes, you heard that right. We went upriver and then camped at White Rock Canyon, this wash right here. Beautiful campsite. Really, really enjoyed it. Now that was about an 8-mile kayak upriver. It was very, very challenging. Especially around mile 6, 7, you really start to feel it, and it was tough. And definitely, if I did that again, I would carry substantially less gear. But really, what I would do is end up hiring the shuttle service and go that route. Now, there are not a ton of companies that have licenses to do this, and for those that do have licenses, they don't have a ton of time slots, so they do book up quickly. So definitely book that, as much in advance as possible. Now, let me kind of walk you through how some things that we did along the way. So, like I said, I'll just start from the very beginning. So we ended up uh, parking and leaving our car here at the Willow Beach. I guess this is a park. There's a marina. There's a little kind of shop here. Of course, you've got boat docks, people fishing all along the banks here. This is a beautiful spot as well. This whole location, even if you were just to do like a day trip and just come out here and hang out, it's really Willow Beach is really a spectacular spot. So what we ended up doing was launching our kayaks from this section here, and as you can see, it's labeled Kayak Beach on the map. Launched our kayaks there, and then left our car in the parking lot over here. Now, when you pull into the main road, or when you pull in off the main road into the road that leads into Willow Beach, there is a ranger station located right up here where you will pay a daily fee. I can't remember what the daily fee is, but there is a daily parking fee that you'll pay right there. So you don't need to you don't need a Tonto pass or anything like that. It's all taken care of there. So after we launched our kayaks, our first stop that we made was at the infamous Emerald Cove, which is right upriver here. And the first day we were in a big hurry, so we just kind of popped in and popped out and kind of kept going along our way. Something that we learned is that you kind of need to hit Emerald Cove at the right time of day, and usually that's in early or like, kind of like late afternoon when the sun is shining down and hitting that cove perfectly, and that's what really illuminates that cave and really makes those emerald colors from the vegetation growth under the river really kind of glow and stand out. What we did learn is as we head further up the river, as long as we were up along the river at some point in time during that time of day, we got the same effect at other parts of the river. So we kind of missed it in the cove on that first day, but we definitely got some spectacular views further upriver. Now, on our return trip, we were planning on hitting Emerald Cove on the way back, but we hit some crazy weather. And so I'm going to show you a few clips of what our experiences were like when that weather hit. So I just stopped off in Emerald Cove, and without sun, it doesn't quite have the same effect. But I tell you what, paddling around in this weather right now and experiencing for this, for somebody like me who's done this a lot, the challenge of this is really exciting. And in some ways, this is even more of a treat of getting some spectacular Instagram-worthy shots of that cove. But this is a lot of fun, I can't lie. Now, going along this river, there are a number of different campsites along the way. So anytime you see one of these washes, there's going to be some spots here that you can camp. And we passed quite a few in the first couple of miles, and so you'll just have to keep an eye out for those if you don't want to come all the way to the back end where we went to. So, as I mentioned before, we camped at a place called White Rock Canyon, and this place was absolutely beautiful. Waking up in the mornings and having these amazing views of the river and the canyon, of course, the bright green and blue and emerald colors of the river all around you. Just incredible views, just a great way to start your morning. And then at this campsite there is also a slot canyon, and you can see that on the map. And it was just a great morning to wake up, have breakfast, take in all the views around the campsite, and then head out for a really cool hike through the slot canyon. So moving along the river here, one of the things that we really wanted to do as well was visit the hot springs. And there's a number of different hot springs along this river. The one that seemed to be the easiest to access was actually this one right here, and it is called the Ringbolt Hot Spring. Now, there is also a way to access this spring through a trail that you can hike down from the main road. So you can park up here and you can actually take a trail down here and get to the hot spring. I've never done that before, but I know that when we went and visited this hot spring, there was quite a few people that were there that had hiked down. Now, a little bit of advice on that. We ended up hitting this hot spring on a Saturday. So we came up on a Friday, camped Friday night, and then Saturday, so this was where we camped right here. So then Saturday morning we got up, paddled down here, parked the kayaks right here, and then hiked into the hot spring from here, which is really cool. It was really fun. Really had a great time. And you can see all along here, this is where all the pools, the hot spring pools, are located. Now, the advice that I have is do not plan on visiting this hot spring on a Saturday, especially when the weather's nice. There were a lot of people that had hiked down to this hot spring from the road, and it was packed with people. Wasn't really the experience I was hoping to have, but still really cool to be out there. So if I were to do this again, I would make sure to go to that hot spring when it's not on a Saturday, just because there was just so many people there. Another thing I should mention, the water in this river is super, super cold. And it's a very wide river. If you have something happen along this river and you fall into the water and you are struggling to get out of the water, you could have a problem on your hands. In fact, when we were there, there was somebody that did have to have come and be rescued and actually be life flighted out of the canyon. The water's in the 40s, and if you fall into water that's in the 40s and you're struggling to get out, you could find yourself quite a problematic situation. So be prepared for that. Of course, always wear your life vest, even if you're an amazing swimmer. You just don't want to fall into the water and be in a situation where you're struggling, or you're having some kind of a challenge getting to the shoreline. This was an incredible trip. I would recommend it to anybody, and to everybody. I would recommend getting the shuttle. Be prepared for weather, and try to go at a time when it's off peak, where you're not going to have a whole lot of traffic. And yeah, other than that, be safe out there. Have a great time, and hopefully something I've shared here was helpful. And if so, please feel free to subscribe to my channel for future videos that I'll be doing on many other rivers and lakes and places that I go out here in Arizona and go kayaking. Thanks for watching.